Good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon, everyone behind the computer. Thank you for joining today's Sunday service by Happy Science UK. Now we are live streaming from the prayer hall of Happy Science Temple, London. Okay, before starting our today's service, we will recite this prayer book, The True Words Spoken by Buddha, together. And let me explain about this prayer book. This is a prayer book written in beautiful modern English by our founder, Master Rihoka himself. And this word, true word spoken by Buddha. Buddha, God. And, this Buddha is same as God or Father in heaven, called by Jesus Christ. So this is a prayer to Father in heaven or Father of Jesus. And we call him El Cantare, Lord El Cantare. So in this Buddha is almost the same as God or Lord El Cantare in heaven. Right. So we will recite together this beautiful prayer book. Okay, I will recite it, right? The true words spoken by Buddha. There used to be the light in the great universe. The light is the energy of Buddha. People can live by this energy, and Buddha's energy has made human history. It will be silent and prevails on us. This is the light of heaven. Through the prism of Buddha, there appear the 7 colors of rainbow, arching over in the sky. Here you can see Buddha's mercy. Yellow is the color of teaching. White is the color of saving. Red is the color of justice. Purple is the color of obedience. Blue is the color of thinking. Green is the color of harmony. Silver is because of gathering of bodhisattvas. This is the land of love or the land of mercy. This is the land of wisdom or the land of teaching. Especially this is the land of souls rest in peace. Real souls are the children of Buddha. The children of Buddha became real human beings. Real human beings have spirituality. The spirits are immortal powers. The spirits are immortal forces. The spirits are real entities. The physical bodies are the shadows of the spirits. It means you are the boat sailing down the great river. The great river is the symbol of the course of lives. Each of you sails down as a small boat, so you need a boatman. If it were not for your boatman, you surely go aground. This boatman really means your mind. If your mind makes a mistake, the boat breaks into pieces by a large rock, and you also need a bamboo pole. This pole is the meaning of the true words. When you go down a rapid stream, you need to pump in the stream. Then you can change your course. The true words means the teaching of Buddha. Buddha enlightened and spoke the true words, and Buddha's teaching became a gold mine. This gold mine suggests various teachings. These are another expression of Buddha's truth. It brightens up your days. Or to put it another way, the fruits of Buddha's mercy. All of you, now here listen to me. Never lose your way, now and forever. The guiding hand has already waved. Please follow this white hand and go straightly on and on. Your lives are not limited to this world only. They have 3 aspects: the past, the present, the future. Your pasts have already gone by, yet still your mistakes will be kept in your minds. That is the reason why you should understand other people, and you yourself should reflect on what you have done. You and others are not different. On the contrary, both are children of Buddha and brothers and sisters. Now then, love each other. Let us bring up each other. And it's time to forgive each other. This is the eternal law, which penetrates the present and the future. Yes, indeed, the light of the dark night. The dark night of this world is hell. It is also the same in another world. Since we came down to this world, the sun of the truth is scheduled to rise. Now we are watching rising sun. It will shed light to the future, to invite sad people to Buddha land. Now here I command, there shall not be conflict in this world. There shall not be distrust in this world. There shall not be crime in this world. There shall not be evil spirit in this world. There shall not be the devil in the next world. Only the ideal world, utopia, shall be realized. All of the people love each other, live harmoniously, believe in one another. That world is utopia. All of us could be the light of bodhisattvas, believing that the light has reality, believing that love has reality, believing that the truth has reality. These are the facts that should be conveyed. We, the light of bodhisattvas, get together, work together to keep right mind and live in tune with Buddha's words. Here we vow to do so. Thank you for joining. Okay, so today we will watch a lecture by our founder in Order and Happy Science book, Master Ryuhokawa. And today's lecture title is Choose Where There is Light. And this is a lecture given by him on 14th of March in Japan, in a city, Sendai, which is a major city of the northern part of Japan, and which was struck by a great East Japan earthquake in 2011. And in that earthquake, which happened on 11th of March in 2011, more than 15,000 people lost their life. And this lecture was given as a kind of commemoration for anniversary, 9th anniversary for this great earthquake. And in the beginning of his lecture, he talked about the reason, spiritual reason behind natural disasters or infection of disease. And in the beginning of the lecture, he talked about the reason why we sometimes experience such kind of natural disaster, which cannot be controlled by human power. Okay, so let's take a look at Master's lecture, Choose Where There is Light. And for the attendees behind the computer, you can find a link to you can also find a link to the video, short videos of Master's lecture. I will show his lecture in the screen behind me, but you can also take a look at the link on the description of this live stream page. Okay, let's begin. Thank you. Thank you. I haven't seen you for a long time. As you know, the storm of suspension is raising in the world. Various discussions are going on. There has been a request not to hold unnecessary gatherings. The high school baseball tournament has been suspended. The small wrestling tournament is being held without spectators. Tokyo Olympic may be in danger, and the games might be postponed for a year. I thought people had more grit, but actually they don't. We should never laugh, since many people have been experiencing misfortunes. However, life is something like this from a Buddhist point of view. People experience various hardships in their life, sorrow and hardship, which may seem unreal or irrational from a worldly point of view. There are people who believe that the human race has been evolving in a linear manner. However, sometimes something unexpected happens, and then experts find themselves powerless. Sometimes various misfortunes will occur. People are shown something that they cannot control. When they misunderstand that they have conquered nature and elucidated the field of God. In the long run, however, such misfortunes can be the opportunities to test whether human beings have become conceited and or have forgotten their original mission. As long as we overlook the world, while I understand it is hard for the people when they are going through hardships. The civilizations from the 20th to 21st centuries have been almost entirely materialistic. People then tend to think that science is human wisdom. However, such high-brow people are sometimes humbled by being precipitated into despair through unexpected situations. Such things have repeatedly happened in long history. It is a reality that a lot of natural disasters have occurred when people had wrong values. And when various major conflicts and wars happen based on the wrong values. It is unfortunate that people go through various misfortunes. We also have a mission not to be defeated by hardships and to stand up with energy. At the same time, we must humbly hold a sense of awe in something great based on the fact that there is a stage that human beings who are still immature haven't reached it yet. This attitude has an effect to wash away evil from a smaller perspective. And from a larger perspective, to sweep and clean up this earth, I think. Therefore, from a macro perspective, there should be a gap in the idea of human beings and God about how they would like entire Japan and the world to be, and how they judge whether it is good or bad. If a large gap cannot be filled by the idea of human beings.
どうしても埋めることができないならば、
I would like people to think deeply once again to see whether they have the mind to devote themselves to something great.
どうしても考えていただきたいなというふうに思っています。
Thank you very much. Yes, as is said in the lecture, we human beings sometimes tend to be conceited and think that there is nothing we cannot overcome. We can overcome everything. But in such a situation like natural disaster or widespread infection, yes, it is a great chance to think back upon ourselves and think about God, how important faith in God is. In this book of Happy Science, The Starting Point of Happiness, there is a beautiful passage about having faith or encounter with God. Okay. An important theme in any discussion on faith is an encounter with God. This encounter is the most solemn moment, the holiest moment of your life. At some point in our lives, we are all given the chance to encounter God. It may be through the experience of failure or a major setback. So in the time of difficulties, the only thing we can do is to pray to God. Gather together and pray to God. And for that reason, we are doing Facebook morning prayer from 10 a.m. by Happy Science UK Facebook page. And we do the live streaming of a morning prayer from 10 a.m. from Tuesday to Sunday. This is because now is the time for gather or prayer. Okay, so let's move on to the next chapter of the lecture. In the next chapter, Master Oka talks about the spiritual reason behind the coronavirus. Especially, the major ongoing issue is the worldwide infection and mortality through the pandemic of the pneumonia caused by the novel coronavirus originated in China. The World Health Organization assessed that this pandemic cannot be contained. Various newspapers and weekly magazines understandably issued predictions of the Great World Depression. There is no doubt that this pandemic is not welcome as far as the immediate future is concerned. However, it may be part of wisdom to understand that some warnings are given to human history in the long run. According to the official announcement, the number of infected persons by the novel coronavirus has exceeded 100,000, and the death toll exceeded 5,000 at the point of lecture. However, these figures are the ones that government officials and hospitals grasp. The real number should be vastly different because there are people who have been unable to get tested and hospitalized. There should be people who have been categorized with other groups of people too. I have heard as a spiritual message that it will become an astronomical figure. The expressions, over 100 people have been infected and more than 5,000 people are dead, do not seem to correspond with the astronomical figure yet. I think this pandemic cannot be contained by such measures as closing schools and shops for 2 weeks or suspending concerts and gatherings. The pandemic has now spread across the world, and people started to forget about how it started. They just feel the pandemic is spreading around the world. However, please do not forget, as I have written in my book, that this is a novel coronavirus infection started in China. I presume that the virus, which is a kind of a biological weapon, has somehow leaked out from the Ordnance Research Laboratory in Wuhan, China. This presumption is now quoted in various occasions after the publication of my book, and this may be the reason why China have started to claim. It may be the US that has set up this virus. In this sense, it can be said that happy science, which is invisible, is experiencing an influence from behind. Please do not lose to emotion, but observe this point clearly. However, I'm not urging people to hate China by claiming this. I'm just pointing out that there is something problematic in the political system of China. The government conceals and controls information too much. They are used to the situation in which they can control and conceal the figures as much as they can, because all the news media are owned by the state. However, they cannot be allowed to conceal and control the information when they have given negative influence to the entire world. Hereafter, China may claim that other nations have set up, or it was actually spread by Japan. I will be annoyed if they say so. WHO must investigate the Wuhan facility and publicize that result of their investigation in front of cameras of mass media. The Chinese government is not qualified to claim it if they do not accept this investigation. At least, there is no doubt that this pandemic started in Wuhan. The Chinese government then broke the city more than 10 million and concealed the information. The government actually expected that epidemic, but it has spread more widely than expected. As a result, the government became unable to conceal the information and started to deal with it. You must know this process. However, I'm not saying that Chinese people are wrong. I'm saying that there is something wrong in the ruling system which oppresses the people. The Chinese government should tell the truth to its people as well as the people overseas, since it has been causing negative influence to them. I personally presume that this pandemic will not abate by various events being suspended for about 2 weeks. It will continue for a little more. I would like you to know that this is also a battle between the communist virus or the gene of atheism and materialism and the immunity or antibody of faith. It is a terrible situation that atheistic and materialistic thoughts dominate and conquer the world. The coronavirus has now been spreading at an incredible rate in such nations as Italy, where the Vatican is situated. The Pope has bowed to the political power of China and become unable to guide people to Christian faith in China. Italy has also relied its economy on China as part of its One Belt, One Road policy and opened its gate widely to China. It has actually resulted in the phenomenon that a large number of people have been infected by the coronavirus in Italy. Also Korea, which relied on China considerably, should be affected seriously. This trend will continue for a while. In my opinion, therefore, it is impossible to maintain our simple way of thinking in the past. A strong spirit to start everything from scratch with a zero-based thinking is necessary. Thank you so much. Yes, in this section, astonishing presumption was revealed that coronavirus is actually a bioweapon of Chinese government. And according to spiritual readings conducted by Happy Science, some spiritual beings in heaven or even some beings from a great universe pointed out that this coronavirus is actually a bioweapon which was made research in Chinese facility in Wuhan, and it was accidentally leaked out from there. This is what we are pointing out. But there is also a very suspicious point. When this infection started in China, the fatality rate of this coronavirus was rather low. But now, here in Europe or here in the United States, the fatality rate of coronavirus is increased compared with that of China. And according to spiritual readings of Happy Science, there was a very astonishing and very fearful presumption that Chinese government is bringing stronger and tense coronavirus to Western countries like United States and Europe. This is just a spiritual research and spiritual presumption, but some spiritual beings pointed out that Chinese government is bringing strong and tense coronavirus to Western countries. In this sense, this is not like a natural infection, but rather a virus war or a bioweapon war. So, and that's the reason why Master Okawa pointed out that this is a battle or war between communist materialism and atheism versus immunity of faith. We Happy Science believe that our faith in God will strengthen our immunity against virus. If we have strong faith in God or faith in Buddha, we can strengthen our immunity and we can protect ourselves from a malignant virus. This is what we Happy Science repeatedly informed to the public. So, of course, there is no vaccine against coronavirus. So, the only way to protect ourselves is to have an immunity of faith, strengthening our immune system by the power of faith. Okay, then let's move on to the next part. I think the world is now standing at the crossroad to choose either the light or darkness. We have a duty to show what is the light and what is the darkness to the people. However, this idea has not been conveyed enough, despite the fact that I have been teaching this in various forms for more than 30 years. While freedom of speech is important, it shouldn't mean that A, B, and C or anything will be fine. I'd like people to know this. We must choose right ideas. There are various ideas. However, there is a clear idea that people should choose God or Buddha. I'd like you to know this. The basic teaching of happy science is the idea that there is an existence called El Cantare, who has created major religions and civilizations of the earth. El Cantare is now trying to spread his teachings in this world, and therefore we need to spread the teachings as the human being of life. In other words, it means what the right mind should be. The right mind is classified into the 4 principles of love, wisdom, self-reflection, and progress. It is summarized in these 4 principles. The principle of love teaches that to love means to give love to other people. This is the principle. People misunderstand that to love means to take love from others. However, it is wrong. If you think to love means to take love from others, you will hate someone you like when he or she doesn't like you. You have someone when you cannot take from someone. If you think only of taking from, this is a worldly form of love, which has been criticized repeatedly. However, you will not become like that if you try to give as your basic idea. This is the principle of love. The principle of wisdom teaches that the idea taught in worldly academics and education have changed greatly in these 2 decades. There is an idea that human beings have been freed in the human realm after they stopped believing in magic and separated from the church. I partly agree with this idea. However, there shouldn't be knowledge or education which breaks the bond between God and His children. While it is important to create a better society with our worldly wisdom, people should be prepared that there will be some major reactions if they become modern people who deny the existence of God and Buddha. We must teach this to people. The next is the principle of self-reflection. I don't teach as such Western religions as Christianity teach that all the people will end up in hell and never be able to return to heaven once they have made a mistake. Indeed, I teach that while people do make mistakes, even the spirits who have fallen to hell can recover themselves and be saved when they are awakened to their Buddha nature. Therefore, in order to recover the spirits in hell, including their ancestors, it is important that people in this world study Buddha's truths and guide them. I teach this through the principle of self-reflection. The principle of progress means to create the form of progress and prosperity, not only in the form of materialistic worldly utopia, but also in the form that contains the element of Buddha's truth. The utopia in this world that I teach means to create the kingdom of God in this world, to create the world that reflects the heart of God. I sometimes criticize wrong ideas severely through the process of creating utopia. Please do not guide, however, people to the wrong direction. People tend to think that science is almighty when they seek their materialistic progress only in this world. However, there should be something more than that. Happy science doesn't recommend to return to the primitive. Rather, we promote such ideas as the linear motor training system, which is aligned with the worldly materialism and scientific progress. However, I teach this based on my wish to be the light of the lighthouse, which guides the poor people around the world to more prosperity by creating much more wealth through such ideas. Thank you so much. In this section, Master Oka talked about the basic teachings of happy science. And happy science believe in God El Cantare, who is the creator God of this earth, and the same being as Father in heaven in Christianity or Allah in Islam. And we believe that all the religions come from one origin, who is called El Cantare. And that's why we teach that there is no meaning for fighting each other under the difference of religion or under the difference of ethnicity. All the religions come from one origin, El Cantare. This is the most important message of happy science. And the most fundamental teaching of El Cantare is a fourfold path of love, wisdom, self-reflection, and progress. And today we can talk about everything about this fourfold path of love, wisdom, self-reflection, and progress. But we can offer you a basic course of happy science. And in this basic course of happy science, you can learn about these four principles to become happy step by step. So if you are interested, please join our basic course of happy science. Okay, so let's move on to the final part of this lecture. Very strong and passionate words of light taught by Master Okawa. What I can tell you now, however, is that we will continue our effort to create a true Buddha land utopia. We will fight and prosper, demonstrating our power as children of God and Buddha, which everyone of us hold within. In that sense, it is important that people who are awakened to faith create a kingdom of progress and prosperity based on their faith. So, in that sense, we must be more rock and roll. We must be more destructive to the time. I think we must have a power to destroy faith's account lists that are wrong. And I think we must tell people what love and peace really means. Happy science must not be as it is now. I think we are still made light of. We must more explosively make progress. Well, we have as many as 70 and several thousand viewers in Nepal, while they seem to have only 3 TV stations, including national broadcasting. When I visited there, all of the 3 stations broadcasted my lecture from the venue during my lecture, thereby it spread nationwide. When I gave a lecture in Africa, there were those who were not able to attend it. And they were broadcasting over and over again after that. I think we need the power to maintain, strengthen, and expand the organization in this world. I have no intention whatsoever to destroy Shintoism, Buddhism, Christianity, or Islam. We are teaching them the modern meanings or interpretation of what their founders taught. Although Islam is distant from Japanese people, Muslims are relying on happy science. Muslims in Uyghur Autonomous Region in China are seeking help from happy science, which is their only choice. They told me in Canada as well that happy science is their only choice, as the Japanese government doesn't hear their request at all. I was also asking Taiwan what to do, lest they should be attacked and occupied by China. I was asked in Hong Kong and many other places too. I'm going to transform the values of the world. Let us make breakthroughs all over the world with the spirit of rock and roll, shall we? Choosing whether there is light means to choose a life of devoting yourself to the world. This is for your own benefits as well. It is absolutely wrong that life is limited to this world. Life after death is a real life. The period in this world serves as a training period for it. In this very situation, you must test yourself. If whether you can keep fighting in the middle of distress and various trials to give love to people in spite of pain, I think. I'd like to say, blow off the coronavirus with Elkantara faith. I think the period during which the world is sinking in the darkness will continue for a while. But please make a community which is full of people who are strangely to say, high spirit, it's important not to forget hope. Let us what we can do and have hope. God gives trial having the mind to purify humankind. But there is certainly what will come after that. Believe that God is trying to let new things sprout by sweeping away the wrong. Let us live life to the full and complete that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, it was a very passionate and energetic message for the people. Actually, Master Okawa is still giving public lectures around Japan, even in the widespread infection of coronavirus, because we need to give people hope in this time of difficulties. And we happy science is like to become a light of hope or a lighthouse for the people, so that we can show hope and future for everyone who is struggling in this time of difficulties. Yes, and even of course in United Kingdom we are ordered to close the door on temple due to government's instruction, but we are still very active online and via phone, and we members of Happy Science are communicating each other, and we are encouraging ourselves each other. And we also do a morning prayer via Facebook Live from 10 a.m. every morning. And we also do Sunday service via this live streaming every Sunday from 2 p.m. So let us become the light for showing the hope for the people around this country and around the world. So thank you very much for attending today's Sunday service, and I wish you a pleasant, beautiful, and wonderful weekend. Thank you very much, and thank you very much, attendees behind the computer. Thank you so much.